Morning, my dear students. Today we are going to shoot one more video for accountancy class 11 on the basis of first chapter. That is the in first video we have covered our half chapter, and the half chapter we will cover in this video. Okay. So today's topic is first of all I am taking types of accounting. So already we have discussed the definition of accounting, process of accounting, characteristic of accounting. Today we are discussing the types of accounting. The first type of accounting is financial accounting. Okay. So what you have learned in class 11, that is your financial accounting. In case of financial accounting, you just find out the profit and loss, and you just prepare the final accounts like trading, profit and loss, and balance sheet. And on that basis, we have judged the financial condition of every business. So that's why we called it as a financial accounting. Okay. Come to the next point, that is cost accounting. Cost means we have to find out the cost per unit. We have to find out the total cost. In case of the in this branch of accounting, we find out the total cost of production as well as we found out the cost per unit which we have producing. That's why we call it is a cost accounting. In that case, we have find out the cost of or price of commodities which we have produced. Okay. The next one is management accounting. Management accounting, in case of management accounting, we just find out the all that results, all that we just present the accounting in just in such a form, in such a understandable form, so that management can take all the decisions. In this case, we have used so many techniques and tools like ratio analysis and by comparison, by comparative statements, by common sizes statements, or by making cash flow statements. So that is a management accounting which help us to take management decision, which helps management to take managerial decisions. Okay. Come to the next part, that is tax accounting. In that case, in that branch of accounting, we just present all the information. We just provide all the information to the government, so that government is able to charge the tax. Okay, to decide the tax, to lay the tax on the income of the different organization or different people. Okay. The last one is social responsibility accounting. As we know that our business is working in a society. Our business organization use society resources. That's why it is a responsibility of business to fulfill some social responsibilities. So in that case of social accounting responsibilities, the business is responsible for it is an obligation. Business is responsible, and it is an obligation of business organization. They have to do something for the benefit of the society. So that comes under social responsibility accounting. Okay. Then come to the next part, that is users of accounting. Here we have to discuss that how many parties are going to be use that accounting which we have present in that accounting process. Okay. So here we divided the users of accounting in two parts, that is internal user and external users. Internal users means like the person who working inside the business. Okay. The insiders are the internal users, like employees. Okay. Like staff, you can say management. Okay. These all the parties which linked with business organization internally. So that's why we call them internal users. Internal users want that information, that accounting information, because they have to take some decisions, some disciplinary decisions, some management decisions to run the business properly or smoothly. Okay, now come to the next part, that is external users. So there are so many external users are there, and they also want the accounting information to take their decisions, like owner, the person who established the business. The business and the owner of the business is two different parties. That's why owner comes under external user. Okay, owner want profit, owner want dividend from the business. That's why it is also comes under external user. Then potential investors also want accounting informations because they have to take a decision whether they will invest in the business organization or not. Okay, creditors, they want their money back from the organization, that's why they want informations. Lenders, the person who is going to give loan to the business. Employees, who is working in the business. And government, researchers, public, all these comes under sorry, that employees will not come here. Employees comes under internal users, and the government, researchers, and public. Okay, general public also want the information because in future, if your organization want to issue shares, if public have a good information about your organization, they are ready to invest your money in the business. Okay, so these all are the external users who need accounting information for their particular reasons. Okay, come to the next part, that is advantages of accounting. Why accounting is important for the business organization, why we need accounting. Okay, so first one is helpful in management of business. Means if you have proper systematic records, then you are able to manage your business properly. That's why management needs information to take managerial decisions. Then second is provide complete and systematic records. Means here, on the basis of that accounting process, whatever the records we have maintained, they are systematic and complete, so that we can get proper information from that, and that we got from only accounting process if we properly follow the accounting process. Third point, information recording profit and loss and financial position. By making different types of account like trading account, profit and loss account, financial balance sheet, we can got information about the profit and loss and the financial position of our organization. So it is also important. Without accounting, it is not possible. Then fourth point is enables comparative study. Because we have complete records about the accounting policies which we have used, about the final accounts, all the accounts we have record properly. On that basis, we are able to compare their current records with previous records, so that we can find out we are doing we are growing or not, we are doing properly or not. Even you can compare your records with other type of organization or other organizations, so that you can compare yourself that whether you are doing well as your competitors or not. Okay, the next one is helpful in assessment of tax liability. So accounting is also helpful in to lie a tax on the business organization, on the owner of the business. Like if we find out the proper income of that particular organization from the process of accounting, then government is able to charge tax on it. Okay, last one, that is evidence in legal matters. Means for example, if there is any dispute between two parties, with your organization, between two parties there is a dispute, then this dispute can be removed by the legal evidences. That legal matters, that legal evidence you can show in the court, and you will show your innocence, and your condition you can explain very well. Okay, the last one is helpful in prevention and detection of errors and fraud. If proper systematic records are there, then you are in condition to find out the errors, to find out the mistakes, to find out the frauds. If anyone doing cheating and anyone doing misleading you, if misguide you, if giving not proper information to you, then you are able to find out the correct information from it, and you can detect all the errors and frauds. Okay, now come to the last point, that is limitations of accounting. Okay, accounting is very good. It has so many advantages. So many users are there. So many types of accounting are there. But still some limitations are there. Okay, the first one, influenced by personal judgment. No doubt there are so many techniques and principles are there while we are recording the transactions, while we are preparing our accounts. But if means these techniques and principles are followed by a human beings, and Because of that, the personal judgment of that particular peoples are influence the decision. Okay, so it is also a matter that that is also affected by the human nature or personal judgments. Okay, the second point is omission of qualitative information. Already we have explained, because the accounting processes depend upon the numericals, okay, the figures, the numerical values. So qualitative information you cannot get from it. You can't say it is good, it is better, it is fine. The conditions, the grading you can give on the basis of that. So qualities is not reflect by the accounting. Okay. Third point, based on historical concept. First of all, you should understand what is historical concept. Okay, historical concept means whenever you purchase a machine, whenever purchase you purchase anything. For example, we are taking example here machine. You have purchased machine of rupees 1 lakh. Okay, so you record the machine on that particular year of rupees 1 lakh, and every year, okay, no doubt you will charge depreciation. But if, for example, whatever the machine you have purchased, if that is outdated from the market, then its value is become nil. But still that machine is showing in your books of rupees 1 lakh or 90,000 or 80,000. Means in the books you are showing it's 80,000, 70,000, 60,000, but actually its value is nil. That is historical concept. So that is the big limitation of this accounting, because it is based on historical concept. It is not influenced by, or it is not affected by the change in the price level. That's why that is the limitation of it. Okay, next one is affected by window dressing. Window dressing means manipulating the facts, manipulating the values. So in case of accounting, it is also possible some people, some cheaters are show their accounts in a better manner, but actually these the figures are not correct. So that is called window dressing. Means they are suffering from losses, but still they show their account in such a way it shows profit. Okay, they misguide the people, they misguide the government. Okay, so that is called window dressing. That is also one of the limitation of it. Then come to the next one, that is unsuitable for forecasting. Unsuitable for forecasting means, because whatever the information we have collected by the way of accounting, it is based on the past matters. Okay, it is based on the past experience. That's why, and your business environment is ever changing environment. It is dynamic in nature. Every time, every minute is going to be changed. So it is very unsuitable for forecasting. You can't able to forecast very well. Okay, so that is also one of the limitation of it, because it is based on past experiences. So that is all over about limitations of accounting. And the last topic which we have to discuss in this, that is characteristics of accounting. So the we are taking first point, that is reliability. What is reliability? Rely means on which you can trust. That is reliable. So in case of qualities of accounting, whatever the accounts, whatever the information you are giving, it should be reliable. In what ways it should be reliable? You have some evidences. You have some material behind it. Means if you are recording something, it is based on some facts, some evidences. For example, if you are submitting your fees in the school, what is the evidence of submitting that fees? It is a that evidence is given in the slip. Okay, the slip they have given to you, fee slip, which is evidence of you are submitting the school fees. Same way in the case of accounting process also, whatever you have recorded, it should be based on some evidences. Okay, verbal nothing you will record on the verbal basis. Understood? Then come to the next point, that is relevance. Relevance means whatever the information you have provided here, it should be relevant to the particular matter or of that year information. For example, if you are giving whatever the whatever the information you have given, it should be relevant to the what you are going to present in your information. For example, if you are going to if you want to publish the policy of dividend in the newspaper, then it should be reliable for the future planning of dividend policy. Okay, so whatever the people, the shareholders who are invested money in your company, they expected the good dividend from your company. Okay, so same way, whatever the information you are providing, it should be relevant. It is not like that the information which is not needed, which is irrelevant, unnecessarily you are giving that information to the people. It is not like that. Okay, for example, in the balance sheet we show the datas. Datas means the people who will pay you in the future. That person is called datas. Okay, so you mention the amount of datas in the balance sheet, not the number of datas. Number of datas is irrelevant. We doesn't know, want anything from the number of datas. We want a total amount which we are going to be uh, that take in the which we are having, which we are getting in future. Okay, that amount is important for us, not the number of datas. For example, 1 lakh rupees you are getting and number of datas are 10,000, so that number of datas are not important for us. Only the amount 1 lakh rupees is important, so we are showing only 1 lakh rupees in the balance sheet, not the number of datas. Understood? So that is relevance. Then understandability means you have to show your account in such a simple and understandable manner that everyone can get the information about it, and you should present your account by following all the rules, techniques, and principles which is universally accepted. Then only your account should be acceptable and understandable for everyone. So that is the meaning of understandability here. Means if you want to compare the performance of two companies, if they all the accounts are prepared on the same basis, same rules and techniques and principles, then only you can compare. Otherwise, if you are using this year different policies and next year different policies, then it is not, you are not able to compare them. So that is also important in case of understandability. Whatever the rules, techniques, and principles are universally accepted, that you have to use for preparation of accounts. Okay. The last point is comparability. Already we have discussed that by the way of accounting, whatever the information are presented, whether it is presented in the form of that trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet, or ratio analysis. You analyze the account in the way of ratio analysis, or comparative analysis, or common size analysis. You all that using for comparison of you want to, if you want to compare your performance with your past performance, then you can compare. If you want to compare your performance with other companies, then you can compare it. So because of accounting, that is a qualitative factor, that you are able to compare your accounts with previous year accounts or numbers, and you can also compare with other companies. So it is very easy because you are following all the principles and techniques of accounting. So all these are the qualitative characteristic of accounting. Okay, so that is all over about the first chapter of accounting, and already I have given you the PDF. We sent the PDF, so you will prepare your notes also. And if any problem is there, then you can give your comments. And that is all over about the first chapter. And stay safe, stay protected, and keep learning. Good.